Next up was the iPads. iPad, basically, they're just revamping the iPad. Um, they announced the iPad OS, which it makes a lot of features more accessible. It's essentially the Apple iOS system for the phones, but they have extra features for the iPad because of the bigger screen. They have the A10 chip in there, which is a powerful mobile processing chip. Apple will actually get more into it right in a little bit here, but Apple's chips for their CPUs and GPUs, the central processing unit and the graphics processing unit, they build themselves, and they are able to make it very efficient for their mobile devices. And unlike most Android, where they have the Qualcomm making their chips kind of a generic chipset of the Snapdragon series, that's most devices are using that chipset series.
So Qualcomm is the company?
Qualcomm is the company manufacturing the chips, the Snapdragon chips. While Apple, I don't know if Qualcomm actually makes them. I think like Apple's designing them. They are manufacturing them, but I don't know. I don't think Apple themselves is the manufacturer. I think they probably have a contractor manufacturing the chips themselves. But they design them. They have the architects. One of the architects comes on later bit. But because they are not just using generic chips, it's actually quite fascinating to see like what they do to the chips to make them better and make them far more efficient for mobile. And so right now this is going to have the A10 chip in the new iPad 7th generation.
So is A10 in is that the same title as a Snapdragon title?
So right now the A10, I don't know the performance, like what performance Snapdragon is equal to the A10.
But it's the same kind.
Right now I think our phones are are not Galaxies, are
Pixels.
Pixels. They have like the Snapdragon either 700 or 800 series.
A processor is used.
Processor, yeah. The processor / GPU, it's all one unit in there. And the Apple iOS or A10 would be just like the Snapdragon 700, but I don't know exactly what generation of Snapdragon is its equivalent because you'd have to look at the processing power of each one of them.
Interesting.
But they have they're adding Smart Connect. The 7th generation iPad is going to be a 10.2-inch display. The keyboard, the Smart Connect system, which allows for easier access to keyboards. I guess they're going to be launching a keyboard with
Bluetooth.
Instead of I don't know if it uses Bluetooth. I'm pretty sure it does, but it's really the connection system that's unique, right? With Apple, if you want to pair anything to an Apple device, instead of going through the Bluetooth system, all you do is you tap it to the phone, and then it pairs.
So it's like a near field.
It's a near field for the connection, but then once the connection is set, then
it's wireless.
I think
and
it's
ranged?
Bluetooth. Yeah, it's like I think it uses Bluetooth, but it uses like that near field in order to create the connection instead of having to like search for it on Bluetooth. You just tap them together.
That would be kind of nice because waiting for Bluetooth to connect and then sometimes it has difficulty.
Yeah, it automatically links it just by like tapping them.
That is
together.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's then same thing with it looks like they're adding that Smart Connect feature and they're coming out with a keyboard for it. There's multitasking in the operating system, the iPad OS. Like they have the slide over keyboard that you just see right there, where if you can bring the whole keyboard over to one side so you can use it one-handed. Very useful. The slide over system which was shown earlier, where you have multiple apps, and if you just slide on the side of the iPad, it will actually open up like all of your previous apps, so that you can even have like a half app on one side, half app on another side, just regular multitasking things, but they just made it easier for the iPad. There's also a pencil that is going to be coming with it, or not coming with it, but a pencil that is an optional thing that you can get. New editing tools, new web tools. They say it's going to weighs about 1 pound, and it's
Wow.
going to be made out of 100% recycled aluminum. And it starts at $329,
Doesn't
and for education customers, they said it starts at $299.
that's I mean a lot, but that doesn't
No, it's not too terrible.
I haven't bought a lot of technology to have reference, but I don't know.
iPads are usually pretty expensive, so it's pretty interesting.